Are they not training dogs to sniff out COVID?
COVID? I thought that they were.
Yeah.
Like, how do they it's got to be scent training. We got to look more into like how scent training is done. But then again,
Oh,
like,
it's definitely scent,
well, for
but I don't
sure.
know.
Because I remember like talking about scent training when we were talking about like the different types of training like for your dogs, and we were talking about
Mm-hmm.
like the hunting and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's like you get like literally a petri dish of like COVID and get the dog to smell like what smell it, and then
Yeah.
like how would you even like
Diabetes. I smell the sugar.
boopity 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 boop boopty boopty snootsies.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Vero.
And my name is Heidi. So, today's episode, we decided to look up different organizations, companies, different associations, all in support of dogos. And we found, I think, a whole bunch. So, I don't know if you want to do the back and forth thing again, Barrow,
Yeah.
and just jump right in. But
Let's do that.
I found like some super cool ones. So I'm going to start with like, I don't want to say it's boring because it's very important, but there's like really cool stuff that I found that I'm excited to talk about. All right. So the first one that I found is called PJAC Canada.
What?
I know. And what it is a Canadian association. So it's the Pet Industry Joint Advisory Council of Canada. And what they do is they provide leadership and communication between all pet industry sectors through resources, training, and advocacy to promote the highest level of pet care. So,
Ooh,
their vision is to be the leader in advancing and developing a vibrant pet industry and working together for the well being of pets and their families. And their values are collaboration, excellence, responsibility, and leadership. So, it's actually a really cool and informative site. And they have like all different areas to go in. So, there's like a section for businesses. So, like businesses can register with PJAC, and they have a blog, they have events that they do, they have an award show where they give awards out for like business, for like quality products, for
oh, that's
um
great.
yeah, different stuff like that. And they are, I believe, in like a nonprofit, and they so they rely heavily on sponsors, and they've have like a quite a few big ones. But yeah, there's like a lot of information on their website. It's like super cool, you should check it out. They have like an education section, they have like events, virtual ones, obviously. They have seminars that you can attend, and just a lot of information to be shared on their website. So I
We'll have
would,
to share.
yeah,
We'll have to share everything that
everything,
we share today.
everything that we share today. So
Hmm.
I kicked it off with that one to start.
I'm gonna kick it off with a big company,
Hmm.
and because a lot of people use this company and might not know about this section of it or setting of it. So Amazon is apparently a large contributor to animal welfare programs. So they have the Amazon Smile program, and you can choose any animal welfare group, and it does like at no cost to you. So apparently they contribute 0.5% of every sale that they do through smile.amazon.com. Now, 0.5% doesn't look like that much, but so many people order through Amazon that it probably adds up to a lot of money. So you can shop through smile.amazon.com, or if you have the Amazon app on your phone, you can activate it by going through the app settings. And if you are an organization and you're not registered for that, you can definitely learn how to register your organization, Amazon. So I think that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Imagine all the people that shop through Amazon.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So the next one that I found is less of a company, but more of an individual who started like several different projects. And so this guy's super cool, and he is a dude by the name of Jesse Frieden. And I believe he resides in California in the States. and he was awarded Best Dog Photographer in the San Francisco Bay Area, and then also Best Dog Photographer in Los Angeles for his fine art pet portraiture in 2010,
Ooh.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and and then I guess with his success went on to start a few different projects. So one of the projects that he heard of, and maybe some of you guys have heard of it already, was called the Doggy Gaga Project. and
I've
he
never
pho-
heard of that.
and he photographed dogs in Lady Gaga costumes. So I don't know if you
That's
were
awesome.
like he has like a little Boston Terrier, and like, do you remember when she wore like the caution tape like around her?
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, and
I
remember,
dressed like that once for Halloween.
yes, yes, I remember that. This made me think of you like big time.
I won tickets to
I
see Lady
know.
Gaga with this costume.
I remember that. You got the phone call at work. That was hilarious.
I did.
But there's all these photographs of these dogs in like Lady Gaga, her signature like outfits, and they're like super cute. So another book that he wrote or project was, it's called Finding Shelter. So I believe it's a book, but I think it's just like so freaking cool. So he took like portraits, and it's called Volunteer Portraits of Love, Healing, and Survival. So he didn't just photograph the dogs, he photographed the people volunteering with several different organizations and dog rescues and stuff like that, and told their story. Like, so the people got to tell their story about why it is
Hmm.
they volunteer their time to these organizations and like all this stuff. So like even when you click like on the page, that like, it's just a little snippet of each person's, like, so there's a beautiful
Oh,
photograph of them and a dog, and then you can read their full story, but it has a quick little snippet. So like one is this one of like a woman with a, like, it looks like a pit bull type dog in her lap, and she's just like embracing this dog like so sweetly and lovingly. And it says her name's Linda, and it says, I've been volunteering for 10 years. I come in every day after work and all day on the weekends. I want to make sure the dogs who need a blanket or just need someone to sit in their kennel with them have that kind of support. I believe that's our
oh,
job as volunteers. So it's just like super sweet, and like I might buy this book to like look at, and
yes.
like because it's people talking about like, and not just like adults, like there's children on here too and stuff like that. And so I think I'm going to support this guy because I think it's just like, it is number one, he's like an award-winning photographer, so the photos are like stunningly beautiful. And with like these cute little stories, it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen like on the internet like the Humans of New York, where they just like bump into these random people and tell their
Yes.
story. It
Hmm.
it has very much that feel to it, except it's all like
Okay.
animal shelter volunteers.
We should do Animals of Ottawa.
We totally should. We should do like Doggies of Ottawa.
Ooh.
Doggies of Ottawa. All right, your turn.
All right. My next one, I think we both found this one, is Lush,
Mm.
the store that you walk by and
And can smell
you
from
get
a
a
mile away,
nose full of scents and you're
which is, yeah.
sensitive. So they have a line of hand and body lotions called charity pots. And if you purchase one of these items, part of the proceeds go to the Beagle Freedom Project. So, Beagle Freedom Project, they rescue animals that survive captivity and cruelty, including lab testing.
I was gonna say, aren't beagles used in like a lot of cosmetic like lab testing? I believe
Mm-hmm.
that they are.
Yeah, so they rescue and rehome animals that are used in experimental research. And I think the first ones that they did rescue were two beagles. And on their website, they have a video of that.
Oh my goodness.
They also rescue senior dogs and special need dogs from animal shelters, and they produce two documentaries. One is called Behind the Mask. It is on YouTube, like the full documentary. I started watching it, but I'm only like 5 minutes in. So I'll have to watch the rest and maybe do a little review on the next episode.
Hmm.
And they also did the documentary Skin Trade, just to educate the public about all these, like the cruelty, the animal cruelty.
Hmm.
And yeah, what else is there about them? Oh, yeah, the Beagle Freedom, they passed the Beagle Freedom Law, which makes it mandatory to adopt dogs and cats from labs in several states,
Hmm.
which is great.
Cool. Yes,
Yeah.
that is
So that's
great.
pretty awesome. Go Lush and go Beagle Freedom Project.
Yes. This is like a very disturbing story on that note. But I remember having a conversation with my sister, and she was like hanging out with a group of friends, and there was like a friend of her friends that was there, and they were talking about like jobs and what they did for a living. And in the summers, she used to have a job with Johnson and Johnson, and I hope we don't get into trouble for mentioning this. But her job was to go into a room full of beagles and, sorry if this is disturbing, but get them to ejaculate because they needed it
Oh,
for testing. And that was her job. I was like, oh my god, how does that happen?
that is
How does a
disturbing.
person do that? Yeah, it is. It's very disturbing. So, yeah, free those beagles. Free
Yes.
those beagles.
Yeah.
All right, so I found a really cool website here with like, and it was called "How 5 Pet Adoption Marketing Campaigns Are Getting It Right." So I have 5 different ones here, and we can like bounce back and forth if we need to, Vero. But these are like crazy super cool. So these were the ones that I was like really excited to talk about. So the first one that they talk about is called the Shelter Pet Project. So it said, like, like social media is used almost in just about every industry. And one industry that has been coming up with some great campaigns is pet adoption. So it said, upon finding that 2.4 million healthy pets needed loving homes each year, Shelter Pet Project teamed up with the Ad Council to create a solution to the problem. So the project took to YouTube to create a campaign that highlighted the rescue stories of pet celebrities. So famous pets such as like Keyboard Cat and Hamilton Pug, who have their own following and shared their stories from going from lonely to loved, it said.
Wow.
And the campaign also created the hashtag, like hashtag start a story adopt, for owners to share their own tale of like rescuing their animals basically. So um it was like this YouTube channel like that had all of these biographical pet tales, and like with just like tens of thousands of like views on each one. And so what did it say? It said, so far the campaign found that 37% of dogs and 46% of cats in America were either rescues from shelters last year. So it appears as though it's well on its way to increasing the adoption rates for
Good.
pets like in the US. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. The Shelter Pet Project.
Y'alls.
Oh,
It's fun stuff to look at. Like a lot of these different organizations have videos. Like there's just so much. There's just
I
so much
know.
out
I want
there.
to work for some of these.
I know. Well, wait till
Speaking of working,
yeah.
sorry, I don't want to cut you off
No, that's
if you
okay.
were not done.
I was just gonna say I'm saving the best for last, and that one's gonna blow your socks off. But
Ooh.
anyways, you go ahead.
Yeah. So speaking of working for cool companies, the company Cliff Bar, they encourage employees to bring their dogs at work. So I want to work. I want to work for
Yes,
Cliff
I
Bar,
know. Yeah.
and they encourage them to do some volunteer work on company time, which leads to a lot of like rescue or like animal shelter volunteering. So yeah, Cliff Bar. I
Cliff
want to work for Cliff
Bar.
Bar.
Cliff Bar for the
Way to
win.
go, Cliff Bar.
Yay for Cliff Bar.
I'm gonna send you my resume.
Are you ready for my next one here on my
Mm-hmm.
adoption campaigns? This one's really cool. So this one they titled it Furry Furniture. And basically what happened was this campaign tested in a couple of different locations, but more specifically Singapore and Arizona. So it's this campaign that's called Home for Hope. and they partnered up with, this is just so cool. This is just so cool. This is just so cool. They partnered up with IKEA. So you know how when you walk through IKEA, there's like they have their like living room setups and their bedroom setups and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
what this company in this project does is they take photographs of adoptable dogs and then they life-size print them and they place them in these homes so you can picture what it's like having like a dog in your living room, and then on the back you scan a barcode and it sends you to the site where you can adopt them.
Oh,
Isn't that so cool?
that is so cool.
Isn't that cool? So like
Such a
I would,
great idea.
it is a great idea, and I just thought like so there's a video that you can watch, and it's just cool because these people are walking through IKEA and then there's these cardboard cutouts of like these super cute doggies. And then you can just like scan them and find out what shelter they're at and how old they are and all the information about them. And it was tested in two locations, Arizona and Singapore, like I said, and every single animal featured was adopted. Isn't that insane?
That's pretty cool.
And they just say how this partnership is a perfect example of the positive effect that comes from big businesses partnering with charities to create like real change. And then it says with no assembly required.
Is this
uh,
ongoing?
I don't, it's gotta be like I don't know, like I didn't watch the YouTube video all the way through, and this is the only thing that like it's like in this like little page that I found about like these different like adopting like strategies and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look into it anymore, but like I would, yeah, same thing. It's like I want that to happen here. We've got a big IKEA. We could put like doggies that are up for adoption in there, and
Yeah.
like how amazing is that?
Oh,
Isn't it amazing?
it's such a great idea.
How
I like it.
amazing, so amazing. I
Is that
just,
the one that's supposed to blow my socks off?
no, not even.
Because that blew my socks off.
It blew my socks off. It's very intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got one?
Yeah. So my next one is a association called Merlin's Kids.
Hmm.
So they rescue shelter dogs to train them to become service animals for children and adults with special needs.
Cool.
So I think a lot of people, when they think about service animals, they think about like Labrador Retriever, Golden Retriever, German Shepherd.
Hmm.
But they go to shelters and they rescue dogs and train them. And they train them uh, also to detect diseases such as cancer, diabetes, and seizures.
How do they do that? We need to do an
I
episode
don't
on that.
know.
Like look into like the training of
Yes.
like how like cuz I can remember them talking about bringing like dogs into hospitals to sniff out like all the hospital borne diseases like such as like
Hmm.
C. diff and like all that sort of stuff.
Are they not training dogs to sniff out COVID?
COVID, I thought that they were.
Yeah.
Like how do they it's got to be scent training. We got to look more into like how scent training is done. But then again,
Oh,
like
it's definitely scent,
well, for
but I don't
sure.
know.
Because I remember like talking about scent training when we were talking about like the different types of training like for your dogs, and we were talking about like the hunting and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's
Hmm.
like you get like literally a petri dish of like COVID and get the dog to smell like what smell it, and then
Yeah.
like how would you even like
Diabetes. I smell the sugar.
I would oh my god, maybe the next dog that I get, I'll get them to be scent trained for diabetes and call them sugars. Sugars, come on.
Oh.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah. Well, that's like super cool. And I always thought about that too because like yeah, like I'm sure there's certain breeds that are, you know, better set out or have the like breeding to do scent training better, you know, like all the like Weimaraners and the German short hair pointers and the
Yeah.
Vizsla, like those are all like hunting dogs, right? So you wonder if they have like an innate thing, but like that's not to say that, you know, other dogs can't do it. Like when I always use my mom will never let me live this down, but we always used to call Becky our little dum dum because like I don't know. I can't think of anything specific, but like, you know, she wouldn't get certain things or she would do like weird stuff and you'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing, you little dum dum?" Like, and anyways, but when I was getting ready to get Gibbs, I was practicing with Becky, and Becky took to training like so well. And my mom was like, "See, and you were calling her dumb dumb. She's not dumb. You are."
Defending her.
She came to Becky's rescue. And Becky is, alas,
Aw,
not a
grandma.
dum dum. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
I think Wiggum was a true dum dum though. No, he was just,
He was more of
I
an
don't
like
know, just mellow and
apathetic. Apathetic. He was like, yeah,
yeah.
so what? I don't care. I don't care. Is it my turn?
It is.
So this is another one from my adoption campaigns site. And this one was called Puppy Love. So it said,
Love.
most people take to the popular dating app Tinder to find fun, hookups, or love, which is why interns at the marketing agency decided to showcase dogs willing to give just that. And
Aw.
yeah, so what originally started as an idea for a marketing competition for interns at different agencies grew quickly into a reality. So the charity's Social Tease Animal Rescue needed a creative and fresh way to get out the word about dogs that were available for adoption. And that's when the great idea struck. So in amongst all the pictures that you'd be swiping through on Tinder, they made profiles for dogs that were looking for
Oh.
homes. So initially, when they released it, some of the Tinder users were like super confused, but it all that did was create like a lot more buzz around like the whole project, right? So all they had to do was swipe right and they would be matched with the information about the dog and where they could go and make it official. So
Aw.
and
I'm
they
downloading
did.
Puppy Love.
I know, right? And so they started expanding that into other similar platforms um, to be used for doggy adoption. So I
That's awesome.
so it said, and here again, like I love how they give you this little snippet of like how it turned out, and it said the campaign initially made 10 profiles for 10 different dogs and reported 2,700 matches in just 1 week.
Wow.
See, this is the stuff that I was kind of looking for, like when we decided to do this episode, because I tried googling it, and although like you had to, I think, dig a little bit or choose your words correctly, like when searching for this stuff, I remember
Yeah.
hearing about like a beer company in the States somewhere where, and it like the dog was associated in the name of it somehow, and on each and every beer label was a photo of a dog up for adoption. And same thing, it's just like when you partner up with these businesses and just get the word out there, and like these beautiful, and all you need is somebody who can take like a really sweet photo of a dog, which there's tons of them around, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have like these huge like successes.
Oh.
If anybody wants to partner with Let's Boop Snoots, we are available and
Yes.
ready to be partnered.
Yeah. With lots of love
Yeah.
and
Yes.
care for doggos.
Le dogs. Le woof woof.
I wish I could work with doggos all day.
Me too.
So, my next one is a car company, a well known car company called Subaru. Isn't there a commercial where they say, like, you bought like a Subaru for your dog or something like that?
So when I was like looking this up, like I found like a similar website that talked about like the mega companies that support animals, and I remember reading about the Subaru one, and I found a stat. I don't know if you read it too, where it said something like, I forget what the percentage of Subaru drivers owned a dog, but it was high, like it was above 50%.
Yeah.
So when they found that out, they started like not only supporting animal organizations, but they started including dogs like in their ads. So because
That's
they were
true, eh? Like, there's always a dog.
there
And I
is
think there's like a radio commercial saying, like, oh, I bought a Subaru. And somebody asks, like, oh, for this? And he's like, oh, no, for my dog or something like that.
well, I think they made a Subaru commercial with two dogs driving the car. And it's like dogs that are actually driving the vehicle or something like that, because I found that like really quickly too, but I didn't like look.
Oh,
I continued on from it, but it was like, yeah, I found that interesting, that because it's so funny. Like when we first got Scraps, we had a Subaru and it was amazing. It was perfect. Scraps would just hop in the back. Like we had a Subaru Forester, and they are like super amazing vehicles for
that's my next vehicle.
it should do it.
Hmm. And then when I get it, I can ask them to donate $250 with the purchase of my
Exactly.
brand new car.
Yes.
So they donate $250 with purchase or lease of a new Subaru, and you can choose a charity that you want.
You could choose like Golden Rescue.
Yes. Ooh, speaking of Golden Rescue, I feel like I have a Golden Rescue story on every episode.
That's okay.
I am on the home visits team list now.
Oh.
Yeah. So I sent in an application to volunteer,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt a little limited on what I could do
Offer.
or the
Yeah.
time that I can offer. So I marked down home visits. So what that entails is that if there's somebody in the Ottawa area that is looking to foster or to adopt a golden, then I would go do a home visit and see if they're suitable.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good for
So
you.
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Way to
So
go.
I don't think I'll have many home visits, but yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
I think that's pretty cool. It's
Mm-hmm.
good to it's nice to volunteer. This is like on a side note from all of our dogo talks and everything, but volunteering is a such a great thing to do, like no matter what you volunteer for, because anybody that you're volunteering with or the people that you are working with in whatever capacity you're doing it in are usually very passionate about what they're doing, and these are like
Mm-hmm.
good people. To donate your time is more charitable, I find, than money sometimes. Money of course is very generous, it's
Absolutely.
very giving, and maybe some people don't always have like extra cash, but I find sometimes time more valuable than
For
money.
sure.
It can be, it's or equally as valuable as
Yeah.
money.
Oh,
Yeah, amazing, good for
yeah.
you, that's cool.
Yeah. I wish I could do more, but
Hey, it's a good start.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
like I'm starting some more schooling in the new year, and I'm going to be a little bit more busy, but I thought about doing the same thing, starting or even like joining one of the apps, like the Rover apps where you go and walk dogs. I know you had mentioned that too, Vero.
Yeah. I'm at the
um
point where so you have to pay. They do like a background check,
mhm
and I've completed the whole like registration part up to that point.
mhm
And then I'm just thinking, because I'm also starting school in a couple of months
mhm
and then getting my puppy. So I'm like, how much time am I actually going to have? And then I'm thinking about COVID and going to different people's houses.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, but then I just like, I'm so close.
Yep. I know. It's tough. It's tough.
So I think it's mostly like the COVID thing that's bothering me.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Now, mind you, you could just like wash your hands, and you will have control over how you deal with entering another person's
Yeah.
personal space. But you got to think about how much time you have to offer when you commit to something, right?
Yeah.
But that's a good start with the Goldie Rescues. And you can have
Yes.
Subaru give them your money. Take my
Yes.
money, Goldie Rescue. Take
Take my
my money.
money. If
All
my
right.
SUV could break down, I can go buy
Yes.
a Subaru.
All right,
It's
I have
going strong. It's going strong, that Acura of mine.
Yas. You've had that thing forever. It's done you well.
It
All right.
has.
So I have a couple more on my different adoption campaign site here. So the next one was a campaign called Invisible Dogs. So it says this was a marketing campaign designed to make you look twice. So what they did was they made a whole bunch of stiff leashes, and it was an idea behind the Best Friends Animal Society, it's called. And so they distributed a bunch of stiff leashes to people, and so that people were walking around with this leash with no dog on the end of it.
Oh,
And
cool.
so that it would make people look and be like, what the heck is this person doing? And it's bringing attention to invisible dogs, so all the ones like sitting in shelters not being seen by people. So this was done all over North
Oh,
America, and they were trying to highlight the lives behind the cage of a shelter unseen from the world. So the distribution of thousands of these leashes created quite the buzz from coast to coast. In a world full of online campaigns, this real life marketing seemed to have an important impact. The idea that one leash represented a homeless dog was apparent and encouraged for people to think twice before going to the pet store to find their next little friend. And it is
mm,
estimated that approximately a third of dogs in shelters in America are purebred, a lesser known fact by people going to look for a dog.
wow.
So, and then they were just like, I think this was again like a real life one. So they had people going out with these leashes and stuff and then just spreading the word on all of this. So this seemed to be like a huge, like, sort of fact sharer. And they were just saying that there are
Yeah.
200,000 dogs that are available for adoption at any given time in the United States of America. And
There's a lot of creative people out there.
yeah, there really is. So that one's cool because it's not like, although like the social media thing is like a super easy way to just like put stuff out there, and like as all you need is like a partnership, and then like it can really take off, like as highlighted by the Tinder one, where they were using all the different like the super high volume like social media apps and platforms to do that. But it's true, this one was very different. But I wonder, like, if I was like shopping downtown and saw somebody with invisible leash, I'd be like, what the heck? But like, I wouldn't necessarily approach it. Like, I wonder how, like, what these people did. Were they like going around like with a megaphone being like, adopt a dog? It's 200,000 dogs. Or like,
Written on the side of the
well,
leash.
exactly. Like, hashtag, like,
This represents a
inv-
sheltered dog.
invisible dogs or whatever, so that you could go to the website, spread a whole bunch of information through the website, but also then have them be able to see the invisible dogs in the shelters.
Yes.
I think that needs to be a huge part of it, right? Like, people look at a dog and they're just like, oh my god, so
Oh,
cute. Like
I
every
know.
single time that I look at a dog. Yeah, if I win the lottery, like, I'm just gonna have a ranch of like
Yes.
hundreds of rescue dogs. I'll
Can
have
I
to
work for
start
you?
something.
I mean, volunteer.
Yep, yep. We can be co-CEOs.
Oh, amazing.
Yes. How amazing, so amazing. Do you have any more companies?
No, you go
Okay,
ahead with the one that's going to blow my socks off.
okay. Not yet, not yet, not yet. I still have
Okay.
one last one on this adoptable one, and then I'm going to talk to you about my favorite thing that I found in this search. Oh my God, it's so amazing. And it's something like, literally, when I started talking about it, even my husband started getting excited. Okay, okay. But first, before the huge showstopper of the day. This is the last one. So this was a project, and it was called the Blue Cross Campaign for Abused Dogs, and it was a YouTube video and that they made showing a dog breaking free of the chains from its neglectful owners to find survival, safety, and freedom. And the campaign shows a host of other animals finding strength through the Gloria Gaynor Classic in hopes of finding a loving home. And the mission behind the cute but heart wrenching video was to shed light on the number of animals that find themselves in shelters due to abuse and neglect. So it was also included in the video was a hashtag support. So instead of support, support,
Sapat.
PAWT, was created so that loving animal owners could stand behind those animals, and it would it was super cute, and apparently it was trending on Twitter right away. And they had over 1 million views on YouTube, um, showing that the public does stand behind abused animals' ability to not only survive but to recover. So I thought that was super cute. Like, and all these things are just
Yeah.
like all like nonprofit. Like, again, like, it's like volunteers that are making this happen, or like whether it be students and different projects and stuff. But like, it's awesome when these projects come about, like, because like you said, there is like a lot of creative people out there, and I
Yeah.
just love seeing like these neat things, and especially when it comes to the doggos, you know, you know. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for the super exciting one that I
I'm
found?
ready.
So I was
Woo!
looking for different companies, and just before I mention this one, I hope I'm not building it up too much, but anyways, before I talk about this one, I was looking for companies, organizations. We found these campaigns and stuff like that. I mentioned on last week's episode a company that I recently found that is here in Canada called Lucky Dog Coffee, and ordered from them a couple of Christmas gifts. And again, an amazing company where you can not only purchase a product, but support the organization of your choosing. But anyway, so in my search, like I was just looking for different cool companies and stuff, but I found this one, and this has nothing to do with um, giving back to the community or anything. But are you ready?
I'm ready.
So it's this company in the UK, and I'm not sure if there's any in the States anywhere. And I know for sure I have never heard of one in Canada anywhere, and I couldn't find one when I Googled. But it is called Tidal Pause, Tidal. And it is a it is a swimming facility and they offer fitness swims and a whole bunch of different activities for dogs in pools. So teaching your dogs how to swim and just having like a big fun doggy swim. So it's a place for you to take your dog and build their confidence
Whoa.
and their social skills. And
Yeah.
this place looks amazing. And I was
Like
thinking,
it's all
like,
indoors?
it's all indoors. So, like, you can
Because I
go.
think we do have some that are outdoors here.
Well, we have like, so in our city, there's like the community pools that's staffed by the city of Ottawa by lifeguards and stuff. And like in the summer, families and kids can go there, and there's sort of like these waiting pools. And then at the end of the day, before they drain the pool, they open it to people and their dogs, so the dogs can go and have a swim and cool down or whatever. But there is no indoor facility. And like I looked all through this website, but I thought, how cool would it be to create a facility where you can either train dogs to swim, you could have competitions like I mentioned on previous episodes. Becky did this once at a pet expo. It's called Dock Dogs, where you teach them how to jump, and they have contests. So you throw stuff into the water and see how far they can jump. So you could do a bunch of like fun activities and events around that. But also, um, you know, like we've mentioned several times on our podcast, this is like a hugely growing industry, and there's a lot of people who are choosing dogs over having children. And so their dogs become their life, right? And there's like nothing that you wouldn't do for your dog. And even like if you had like a water facility, you could do physio for some of them. Like I watched a video of a rescue dog, and they thought he was hit by a car or something, but he didn't have, like, there was something wrong with the musculature in his legs, and he had to go for physio, and it was in a pool where they had them like
Oh.
walking, because, like, right, it gives you that weightlessness and their
Mm-hmm.
ability to exercise and stuff like that. And so they started that, so you could even have like a whole doggy physio section to it. So it
That's
could be like,
amazing.
so, and again, like, so when I was talking about this to my husband, he's like, "Oh my God, yeah, Kate, like, would you like humans in the pools? Because then you would need like lifeguards. Like that might be too." And he started getting like so excited about the idea of like opening
Let's
like
do it.
an indoor, not like just fun and fitness, but also like training facility and also physio like
Mm-hmm.
facility for people and their dogs, right? So, um,
That's pretty cool.
I thought that was cool. I
Ah,
would I would totally take my dogs, especially in the winter.
yes.
Here, like there's nothing to, like, you can take them outside, but like when it's freezing rain and when it's like sometimes we get like nasty weather for like, a whole week, and like they're just chomping at the bit to get outside. But even when they go outside and it's like -40, they're like doing the dance where they're like one paw, like the ground is too cold for their paws, where they're like, ooh, 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 let me in, let me
Yeah.
in, let me in. There's some mornings where I would open the door and they would just flat out refuse to go outside. Like they were just like, yeah, no, I'm not going out
It's
there.
too cold.
So I just thought it was like a cool place, and that would be such a fun activity to do with your
It
dog.
would be.
Becky would love
Oh,
it.
too bad
She
we
is
don't
like a
have
swimmer
that.
to the max. Like, oh, let's open up a let's boop snoots pool. Let's
Boop
swim
snoots.
snoots. Let's snoot
Let's
swims.
what?
Let's
Let's
boop pools. Let's boop dog swim.
let's I
Let's
don't know. I don't know what we would call it.
let's snoot swim. Let's snorkel snoots.
Be like, just keep swimming.
So there's like, the dogs that dive down and can like get stuff out of the water. Like Becky
Mm-hmm.
loved the dogs. I have a video. We'll have to put it up at some point. It was kind of embarrassing because it's like I signed her up. And these people are kind of cool because they have like this is actually another company that I can talk about. And actually I should probably look them up here and then I can tell you with certainty. But it's a company here in our area and it's called Doc Dogs, and they are canine aquatic competitors.
Ooh.
And so when you go to their website here, and it's super cute, it shows like a little silhouette of a dog like jumping into the water, and it says farther, faster, higher. And I remember like when we went to this pet expo, like anybody could sign their
Yes.
dogs up for it. So I signed Becky up at like, I don't know if she had like
Stage
performance
fright.
anxiety. Yes. Because there was like a lot of distraction, right? And like the only place she ever just like runs and jumps off the dock is at the cottage, right? But here we're inside this like place. But anyways, Doc Dogs has a portable tractor trailer that they fill with water, and they go to different festivals like in the area and stuff like that. And you can register right there on the spot if you have a dog that's willing to do it. So Becky was like super frightened and she didn't like jump like she usually does. Like, and we had to, and the guy like gave me a ball and he's like, here, like throw this in the water. And I splash it in the water and she jumped off and everybody's like, yay. But like, um, it was like super cute, but they do have these competitions. So they, even on their website here, they have a place called results, rankings, and titles. And so they have for like
Ooh.
the highest jump, they have for like the longest jump, and I think they even have ones that like dive down. But yeah, they're super, a super cool company. I'm glad that we brought it up. But again, like they have a portable thing, and it's literally
Mm-hmm.
just like I'm so bad at estimating like measurements, but it's like the size of a tractor trailer because that's how they like pull it around. um and so they're mobile, which is really cool, but I think it would just be cool to have like a big facility where dogs could just
Yeah,
swim just like we do. Like sometimes, like when my
that'd
kids
be
were young and
awesome.
bored, I would take them to the pool, like, and I'm sure people would love to have that available like in the area.
That would be pretty cool.
And that's all I have to offer today.
Me too.
If you guys know of any super cool companies or organizations or associations, we would love to hear about it. And thanks for listening today on Let's Boop
Yeah.
Snoots.
Let's boop snoots next week.
Y'alls. Bye.
Bye.